They opened the tomb, expecting treasure. Instead, they found a warning, sealed for 3,000 years. A warning that would ignite one of the greatest mysteries in modern history. In the burning November heat of 1922, the Valley of the Kings lay silent beneath the Egyptian sun. To most eyes, it was a wasteland of broken stone, dust, and forgotten shadows. But to one man, every grain of sand hid a possibility. Howard Carter had spent years searching for something the world believed did not exist, the lost resting place of Tutankhamun. Carter was stubborn, obsessive, and nearly ruined. For 6 seasons, he had dug through rubble with little reward. His patron, George Herbert, 5th Earl of Carnarvon, had poured fortunes into the expedition. Friends advised him to stop. Egypt had already yielded its greatest secrets, they said. If a royal tomb remained, someone would have found it centuries earlier. But Carter believed the ancient records whispered a different truth. The Valley of the Kings had once thundered with funerary processions, gold chariots, priests in leopard skins, incense smoke drifting across cliffs, mourners crying for dead kings. Beneath those cliffs, rulers of the new kingdom were buried in chambers packed with unimaginable wealth. Thrones of ebony, statues of gods, jewels, weapons, linen, perfumes, and texts meant to guide the soul through the afterlife. Yet many tombs had been robbed. Some were stripped in antiquity, others smashed by time. The mummy of Tutankhamun, a boy king who ruled briefly and died young, had become a historical ghost. His name appeared in fragments. His reign was short. His tomb was missing. That missing tomb became Carter's obsession. In early November, workers clearing ancient huts near the tomb of Ramesses VI uncovered a carved step descending into the earth. Carter froze when he saw it. Steps in the valley could mean anything: storage pits, unfinished shafts, false hopes. But as more rubble was removed, a sealed doorway emerged bearing impressions of royal necropolis seals. Carter sent a telegram to Carnarvon in England. At last, had made wonderful discovery in the valley, a magnificent tomb with seals intact. Weeks later, Carnarvon arrived with his daughter, Lady Evelyn Carnarvon. Together, they stood before the plastered doorway. Carter cut a small hole, inserted a candle, and peered inside. "Can you see anything?" Carnarvon asked. "Yes."
Was an ancient force protecting the dead? Had priests engineered poisons in sealed chambers? Were microbes awakened after millennia? Or was it all newspaper sensationalism? The truth was more complicated. Many people involved with the excavation lived long lives. Howard Carter himself survived until 1939. Lady Evelyn lived decades more. Doctors pointed out that infections were common and antibiotics did not yet exist. Mold spores in tombs were plausible hazards, but hardly supernatural assassins. Still, the curse endured because it satisfied something timeless in the human mind, the fear that stolen sacred things demand payment. And there was another reason Tutankhamun's story fascinated America. He was young. Modern forensic studies suggest Tutankhamun died around age 19, a teenager wrapped in gold, buried with royal splendor, nearly erased from memory, then rediscovered in the age of radio and cinema. His life felt cinematic before Hollywood fully understood spectacle. Yet the boy king's actual reign was rooted in one of Egypt's most turbulent eras. His probable father was Akhenaten, the ruler who attempted to replace Egypt's traditional gods with worship centered on the Aten, the sun disk. Temples were closed, priests displaced, art transformed into an unusual naturalistic style. The capital moved to a new city. After Akhenaten's death, backlash came swiftly. Tutankhamun was born Tutankhaten, living image of Aten. During his reign, his name changed to Tutankhamun, living image of Amun. The old gods returned, temples reopened, power shifted back toward traditional elites. Imagine being a child placed on a throne amid ideological civil war, managed by ambitious adults carrying the burden of restoring cosmic order.
then dying before adulthood. Because he died unexpectedly, some scholars believe his tomb may have been originally prepared for someone else and hastily adapted. That may explain its relatively small size compared with other royal tombs. Ironically, that smaller, hidden tomb may have helped save it from looters. History often turns on accidents. If grave robbers had fully emptied it, Tutankhamun would remain a minor footnote. If Carter had stopped digging one season earlier, another team might have claimed the discovery. If Carnarvon had ignored Carter's telegram, the opening might have been delayed. If cameras had not captured the golden treasures, global obsession might have faded. Instead, Tutankhamun transformed archaeology itself. Before this discovery, many expeditions treated ancient sites like treasure hunts. Documentation could be sloppy, context was lost. Carter, though imperfect by modern standards, meticulously cataloged thousands of objects. The process took years. Each chest, amulet, sandal, staff, and linen fragment revealed daily life, religion, craftsmanship, trade, and royal ritual. Archaeology shifted from gold to knowledge. Objects from the tomb told astonishing stories. There were board games for the afterlife, food offerings, wine jars labeled by vintage and estate, walking sticks, many of them, suggesting the king may have had mobility issues. Clothing so finely woven it rivaled modern textiles. Daggers, including one later found to contain iron likely derived from meteorite material. A weapon forged from metal that fell from the sky. For Americans in the Machine Age, this was irresistible. Ancient people using heavenly iron centuries before the Iron Age fully spread. Modern scans of Tutankhamun's mummy revealed fractures, genetic complexity, and health problems. Scholars debated whether he died from injury, malaria, inherited disorders, or